Come on. Does it work now? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Audio check. Yes, 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 yes. 1, 2, 3. Audio check. Nice. Let's see, let's see. Yeah, we got it, we got it. Welcome to today's stream. We're just gonna continue building on the book Menti, which is the startup that I'm trying to build in public, as some of you might know already if you've been following the stream. I'm just doing this to kind of stay motivated, and this is mostly for me, but if you enjoy it, then please just give me a follow, or write in the comments below if you think there's something interesting that I should be looking at. Right now we don't have any viewers, but maybe we will have that in the future. And I will just do some configurations to pop out the chat and get my chat set up in a nice way so that I can see if anyone is chatting me up. I am using the chat from all 4 streams. Right now I'm streaming to both YouTube, Twitch, Trovo, and Kick. And I've had most success on Twitch and Kick. YouTube's not really being that favorable when streaming, but maybe at some point. Also, YouTube is really good for keeping the video logs, so at least that's what they have going for them, so that's nice. Let's see if I can get the chat. Here's the last chat. And here we go. So we got some Twitch chat. Let's get that over here. And we get some Kick chat. Some YouTube chat. That's probably not gonna be used. And some Trovo chat. That's probably also not gonna be used. There we have it. And then maybe a browser view like this. All right, that's just the second screen. So let's see. I remember last stream was very short. We didn't really get anywhere. So hopefully today will be a bit different and we'll be able to go somewhere. So if you're just joining in the stream, I'm glad to have you. Welcome. Today's stream is just about continue building on the startup, and we have to say go run. That's how we run the application. I will open a new window. We'll bring it here. We'll say local. We'll allow it. And there we go. So last time we managed to, or not last time, but last time we managed to add podcasts. So if I go on to the model, we have now episodes. That's what we were adding, episodes. Yes. And I'll just open my Obsidian. I think I might have to draw a little bit in the book Menti idea. Book Menti. Here we go. Draw. Why is it always doing it like that? I want it to be like this. Where did this drawing go? Maybe a book, Menti. Yes. Thoughts. Did it just go directly in here? I wonder where these are going. Goes into Excel draw. Found it. Okay, can we collapse this? There we go. Okay. So I want to make another kind of tab over here. So let's say we have this. This is all cool and nice. And we want to add something here. Should be like search. Yes, so we need to add some kind of search. And how should search look? I want search to kind of be a switch between. That was a thick one. We don't want to have a thick one. How do I make it? That's annoying. Maybe this one. So it should be books or podcasts. What? Yeah, like that. And you can either have this or that. And then there should be like a search field. Something like this. Maybe I can just do like this. So search. And then let's imagine that it's toggled to be on podcasts. This means that it will, for example, search up a specific podcast. So let's say that my first million is podcast. Then it will have like episodes, and then it will list all of the episodes. Maybe like this. And then it should kind of relate it to books, right? Maybe it should only be the books. So it should just be like this. And then it should start like listing books. Maybe that's the way to go. And then if you click on a book, maybe it should be the other way. You go to a new page where it's like for a work week. Some like description, and then it should be like mentioned in. Then here should be like my first million, right? Episode 102 or something, and then time stamp. Something like this, and then like a link to episode, maybe something like that. That's the idea, right? That's the idea. So should it be like you click on an episode where a book is mentioned? Like maybe the most important part is the people who are mentioned. So this should be like the books. But then also it's important what order they are mentioned in. So what happens if a episode doesn't mention any books? Maybe it should be not showing. Like maybe should be crossed out.
Long live Jow _ Twitch Scamu 65 just made me focus even harder.
Thank you. Thank you for the follow, man. I forgot I had that on. Thanks, man. Twitch scam use 56. Long live chaos. Esports Twitch online casino esports betting scam fixed match. What the fuck is this? Is this like a bot? I bet it's a bot. Well, cool. Yep. Okay, what do we do here? Actually, 2 seconds. I'm just gonna fix the camera. The camera is annoying me. How do I fix the camera? If I turn it off here. Yeah, just bear with me for a second. Bear with me for a second. There we go. Look at this. Hello. We can do live mode. Let's focus it. And then we should be able to... Oh, the other way. We should tone it down a bit. There we go. Now we can actually see me. Isn't that a bit better? I think it's a bit better. So we shut it off. Change it back to this one. And we're back. That's much better, much better. Yeah, we like that. We like that. So what should this podcast thing be? It should be like, you search for podcast, you search for My First Million, which is a podcast, and then iTunes podcast search RSS My First Million. No. I swear there should have been like okay. So we have like episodes. Maybe it should be like put on dates. So what if it's like, should be some kind of filter, right? Sorting date kind of view. I mean, that would be nice to have. Would be nice to have some kind of sorting date kind of view. Welcome to the chat. I can see people are tuning in over at Kick. It's nice to have you. I know you cannot see the chats of the other platforms, but I'm streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Trovo. So far, I think Kick has been the best experience. People have tuned in, but also Twitch has been fun. If you type in the chat, I'll be able to see it. So welcome. We have the search. How should we put this? I like that it's kind of, maybe should have this kind of view like this, right? It should be kind of like and then we need something like this. Can we go to pictures? Like, let's scratch this one for a moment and think about how something like this could look. So it could be like mentioned in episode X at 10:44, and then just a link to episode, link to book. Maybe it could be like very simple like this. Can we group it? Group, maybe just Control G. No, not like that. Not the graph. Let's get this back. Okay. So we expand this a bit. Remove these. Remove this. We like this. next one is just gonna be like, and this will be to, could be YouTube, iTunes, and this could be like Amazon or something like that. And then we don't need this extra view at all. And the list is just a book of the most recent one. And then maybe in the top could be like a date. Right? Could be just like when it was mentioned. I like that. I like that. So that would be when you're looking for a podcast. Now, what if it's the other way around? What if we have this whole thing, but instead of a podcast, we're looking for a book? And then this will be for our work week. Then suddenly it will have to be like our work week. It will have to be like this maybe. And something like this. And then instead it's not books, it's podcasts. Or I should say books like this, podcasts. I like this. Could be a simple way of doing it. Then we'll start with the podcast because I think it's the most relevant ones. And then in the future we could have like a top one, top this month. Then just top. And it could be like most mentioned books month list or something like that. Okay, let's try to create this. Let's try to create this view. So I will go and I will create a new static page maybe. Search.html, and we will have to put in some HTML. We will have to see what that looks like. We'll go to the router. We'll define a new route called search. Search. Now restart the server. Let's allow it. Go to the page. Search. Now we're on search, but it was a copy of goals. So it looks like complete copy of goals. Should be here. Let's remove some of the main stuff. Maybe just all of it. Yep. Goals. Search. Search a podcast. Search a book, maybe. Yeah, search for book mentions. Podcast. And we should have this one say search. Search. Change the font. Yes. And then we need to add this search with this one. To all the other pages. So that we go here and here. Search. 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 Yep, there we go. Easy peasy. Search book mentioned, and then we need to put a search field. So we go to search. Maybe we need to search podcast. All of this needs to be filled in at some point. Does it say index? Okay, time to do some ChatGPT. Have a search bar with, and then let's describe what's let's see if this will work. Nice. Let's plop that in there. See what it looks like. It's a bit white. Why is it white? better. Hello. Okay. And we should maybe give it some kind of view. Maybe we can make it figure it out. So we will take the podcast controller. What can that do for us? It can do, let's see, close, no, podcast create. We can get all the podcasts. Listen here, delete, edit, go, okay. Get edit page, podcast, get podcast by ID, update podcast, create podcast, get all podcasts. The list. So let's see. Open database. What do we have? We have, for example, books and episodes. Podcast. So we need to look in book mentions. Maybe we can do a join, because we both have books. We have episodes. But then I need to, is it, oh, we don't have the book mentioned one. Oh, books related to that podcast. That means we need to create the book mentions. Okay. Let's ask the chat gods. So we need to create a table. Book mentions. Let's do it. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Connie boy. Nice to see you. I see you on Kick. The progress is good. Slow and steady, I think. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Sorry I didn't notice you. Alright. Just relaxing around. That sounds good. Sounds fun, man. You're like a ghost viewer. When I'm looking at the stream, I cannot see you. No, I have like chats open on the right side of the window, so like when I'm focusing on the main view, I'm not seeing a lot of things. How about you? How's your day going? Welcome to the stream, man. Right now, I'm using ChatGPT to kind of make a book mentioned controller. And the book mentioned controller should have a function that can search books in podcasts, and I'm gonna use that to be able to create the search field and search in podcasts, and then it should return all of the books that are mentioned in a specific podcasts. I haven't really made the data for this, so it'll be kind of not ready yet. Why Why is this one podcast controller? It thinks it's going inside the podcast controller. No. Go in its own controller called. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you're curious about what I'm building. I will more than gladly show you. I think right now we need to kind of generate a specific query for getting the books that are related to a podcast. So this one should find books by podcast title, and we should be able to generate, and then it created this one. Whoa, that's crazy. Whoop, there it is. Let's see if it knows how to use it. Let's see. Yep. Greetings and what up, man? Nice to see you in the chat. my OG fanboy. Are you having fun at work? Oh, you must be like off work maybe today. Is it a specific day for having like free time in India as well? I know in Denmark it is, but maybe you don't have those Christian days. You probably have some other holy days. At least in Denmark today, it's a Christian holiday called Kristi Himmelfartsdag, which is Ascension Day, I think. 3 day off, 3 days on. What does that mean? You have like 3 days off now? Oh, or maybe that's just your work schedule. Denmark is called Ascension Day today. Kristi Himmelfartsdag, which is the day that Jesus went from the mountain and something like that. I don't know. Went to heaven. And then in 40 days he will be, I don't know. Then it's Easter. I apologize for this day. I was having a lot of work need to be done. You don't need to apologize, man. I haven't been streaming either. I've not been streaming for like 5 days. I've also had like a cool, nice long weekend where I've been home with the family and stuff. So yeah, I've been lazy too. I'm building a search functionality that can search by podcasts and find books mentioned in podcasts. I search my first million, then it will use the turn all the podcasts, all the books mentioned the podcast. So yeah, fuck sorting. It's my repository. It's my model. Book controller. Templates. Book list. We will have all a planned schedule. We'll talk in the past for work. So I found 2 guys who are brilliant to work and help us make things faster. Oh, that's cool. Let's schedule a meeting. If you already found 2 guys, then we just need to find an idea and we can start working on it together. I'm down. I'm very much down for doing a project like that. So you should we should do like a brainstorming schedule. Maybe you see something that we should build. Be very cool to work on it together. welcome to the stream. It looks like Kick is the popular opinion today. Like a lot of other days, Kick are usually the most popular opinion, or not opinion, platform where people actually tune in and start watching from. So thank you to the 4 people in Twitch, not Twitch, in Kick chat, who are actually following along. Let's hear it. Why are you on Kick and not on Twitch? I'm very curious to know what is the Kick hype about. Let me know. Why is it acting up like this? Or don't. I mean, you can also just stay here, have fun, tune in the chat whenever you feel like it. Quite a few days we'll have meetings together, all discuss those. And well, I'm not sure that many viewers will be joining, Andy, and I'm not sure we will be doing it on stream. I think we should be able to do those projects in like a private manner, maybe for now. But if you want to do it publicly, we can also do it on stream. I wouldn't mind at all. I mean, it would be fun project. Why is it doing like this? Keep the hustle up, guys. 3-4 weeks every day work, and you got stuff out soon. Yeah, exactly, Connie boy. That's the way. It's the hustle. So that's why I'm streaming, to so you guys can watch and help me stay motivated. What is going on here? Not like that. More coffee. Yeah. I was googling ethamine. Is it called like this? Theanine? Have anyone heard about this drug? It should be like, it's a drug that's in like black tea, and it should help you like stress less and like, but maybe also stay focused. And together with coffee, it should be like pretty good. It's like an amino acid or something like that. Have any one of you heard about it? I was thinking about getting some of this stuff just to kind of like get some caffeine, get up hype, get some of this stuff, like take the notch off a bit, like stay awake. Less sleep. I sleep like 12 hours a day. It's like crazy. Never slept so much in my life. Verify name. Yeah, okay. Book controller. Drug. 12 hours of sleep. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sleeping 12 hours a day without any drugs. I mean, It's good. It's good for me. Maybe 10 hours sometimes. And then sometimes I'm staying up all night. So you know, it's a I'm a, what do you call it, like um, up at night. I'm nocturnal, right? Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, nocturnal animals. Is that a movie? Oh no. Yeah, that's me. And then when I get to sleep, I sleep for like 12 hours. Probably not the most healthy thing. Batman. Exactly. Hmm. It can't be this, can it? No. Is it the naming? Ah, there we go. There we go. Controller. Hmm. Okay, we compiled. Let's rename all these so that they get good naming. So we'll be able to search. Okay, there we go. Delete this one, delete this one. The book controller, search by podcast. Failed. It will list the book list. Why will it list the book list? No. don't need this here actually. Oh, that's annoying. Date mentioned. Generate. Date mentioned does not exist. No, that's true. Gotta remove those. Whoop, there we go. And then this one's up to date. The repository. Date mentioned. Date mentioned. Date mentioned. Date mentioned. Date mentioned. Yep. And then here, no date. Okay, we make a new one. Oh, sorry, I'm back. So we got this HTML. This book. Hello, JLMG8. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. This kick thing is popping off compared to Twitch. 4 viewers. That's crazy. Oh my god, that looks crazy. This is crazy. Let's try it out. No, not the handler. What? What are you coding? Also someone on Twitch, Lykkekon. Wow. What up, Lykkekon? That sounds like a Danish name. Welcome to the stream. Maybe it's not. But I am coding. Let me show you. So I'm trying to code this this website that is whoa. We need to start it. Go run. There we go. So of course now it's not working. We'll just go to the official site. So the idea is that I'm creating this this platform that has relations between books and podcasts. At least for now it's going to be books and podcasts. So I have always listened to a ton of business podcasts. For example, one of my favorite ones is My First Million. So it's a podcast where they have all of these hosts on, and it's Sean Puri and Sam Parr, and they're just brainstorming business ideas. And I listen to podcasts like these, and sometimes they mention books, and then whenever they mention a book, I always get inspired to read that book. But they have made like so many episodes. I don't know, maybe like 200, 500, 600. Okay, yeah. So you see like almost 600 episodes, and I only recently started listening to them, maybe this year. So like maybe I've listened to 80 of the episodes, but there's still like another 500 that I've never listened to, and I'm probably never gonna catch up because they're pumping out episodes like every 2 or 3 days, and I don't have all the time in the world. So I want to get an overview of all of the books mentioned in these podcasts that I like. And then I thought maybe at some point I could extend this to like other podcasts or other media. But for now it's just all of the podcasts that I like. So I'm coding something that can hold all of these podcasts, automatically analyze and scan if a book is mentioned, and then create a database that will showcase them. So something that looks kind of like this. So the idea is to have like a search bar, and then the search view, you'll be able to type your favorite podcast, for example, My First Million, and then you can filter by like date or sorting or something like that, and then it will pop up all of the books that is mentioned in this podcast. So for example, maybe for Workweek is mentioned, and it will tell you when it was mentioned, at what specific time frame in the video or podcast. It will link the episode and it will link the book. And I'm just thinking this will be like a tool that people can use to kind of find the next read, or maybe get inspired by reading something that the favorite author or like favorite podcasters have like talked about. There already exists stuff like the Joe Rogan library, which is a collection, JRE library. No, JRE library. That is a collection of all of the books mentioned on the Joe Rogan podcast. There's a ton, but there's so many podcasts in the world that doesn't have this specific fan base, like creating a library of books. And so I just thought maybe I should create that. So I'm trying to do that. And how are you getting the books mentioned from the podcasts? So yeah, that's the hard part. I will take the audio from the podcasts. I will transcribe the audio with a AI such as OpenAI's Whisper. I have tested a little bit with the Whisper model before, and it actually transcribes text really precisely. And so I will take the text and I will put some AI on it that will kind of figure out what books are mentioned, and then if a book is mentioned, it will plot it in in the database, and then I might have to kind of two-factor like accept it, or we have to do some community moderation or something so that the AI doesn't go crazy and just tries to mention all kind of books. But I'll have to play around with that a little bit. I know it's possible. It's also going to be a little bit hard, and I don't know how expensive it is to analyze all of this text yet. But if it's like a little bit expensive, then maybe I will just analyze my favorite podcast and pay the money, and then maybe allow the community to pay in order to maybe track a favorite podcast of theirs. And then if one person is tracking like a podcast and paying for that one, maybe for a month or two or for a year or something, then it will be made available for the whole community. So it will be kind of a community driven thing. And then if somebody stops like tracking a specific podcast, then it becomes kind of like up for grabs for someone else. And then maybe if you're the sponsor of the podcast, maybe you can get your name and fame, or maybe a logo, or maybe you can do some AdSense on the page when you're like the one who's sponsoring that podcast to being analyzed. It's a cool idea. I like the idea. Yeah, it's just a small project that I'm working on. I've been working on it for like dedicated for like a month now, maybe a bit less, because I'm like last week I did maybe 20 hours of streaming, and I want to do more, but it's really hard to staying motivated just building stuff solo, and I'm new to doing stuff all on my own. So it's kind of a new experience. What was the whiteboard thing you had up before? So I use this note-taking app called Obsidian, and if you don't know Obsidian, it's the best thing ever created by a note-taking person. I don't know, it's open source. There's like a ton of plugins. It's basically Notion, but open source. Hey, Byte Tourist, you're saying, how is it going? It's going good, man. It's just my entrepreneur journey, and I'm coming small steps, further and further. Each stream is going a little bit further. It's very specific JLM G8, but kind of I guess that's what I like. It's Twitter, like I follow all of these inspiring people, and one of my favorite guys is called Levels.io, and this guy, he builds like 70 projects I ever did. So it's like only 4 out of 70 plus projects I ever did made money and grew. 95% of everything I did failed. My hit rate is only about 5%, so ship more. So my idea is just to build all of these small things. When I get better, hopefully I'll like be able to turn it down so that I can spit out these small projects in like a month or something, and then just have it live out there on the internet. And then if it does some traffic and it does good, then I can focus more time on it. But if it doesn't, then I'll just have this on my portfolio. It's just kind of there. It will exist forever. I'm building it in Go. I'm having such a lean stack, so this can just be hosted on like a very small server. I can probably have like 50 projects going on at the same time, because it's like written in Go. If no one's really using it, it doesn't really take up that much memory or CPU power. And so it's a very lean stack with Go and HTMX. It's new for me. The Go thing is very new. How long have you been coding? Well, I've been coding for maybe 5 years, I think now. But it's all been like coding in school. And then I also have another startup where I've been coding for 2 years. But it's also been like part-time away from school. And Dimwit is saying, I love Go. Well, Go is it's growing on me. The only thing like so far that I don't really like a lot is the error handling. I think people love the error handling in Go, but I just find it very unpleasing. I like the way try catch work. I think maybe it's because Java was my first real like big programming language, and C, and they have like error handling in another way where you kind of have to do this try catch thing, and it's just, I guess, easier to get away with an error, where here you kind of have to, I don't know, the code just ends up being mostly errors. It's like if error, all of this error, if error stuff. Have you ever used Golang for Go, or just VSC? Oh, no, I've never used Golang. I have no idea what it is. Maybe I should check it out, because VS Code is kind of like doesn't have all the things. Oh, of course it's the JetBrains things. But I love JetBrains. That's why JetBrains is just so nice. It does everything for me. I think that's why I fell in love with Java back in the day, was because of IntelliJ. But if it's not free, then it's just so expensive. Look at this. It just hurts. I don't like that. I want to be able to just code in nothing. Like, I want to learn Vim. 30 days free. Yeah, but nah. I don't like getting addicted to software. You just make a new account in 30. Yeah. I know. There's like all these ways. I could also probably just like crack it or whatever, but it wouldn't be the same, right? You can supercharge your JetBrains with AI Pro, and you can do all of these things. But I prefer using things like a bit separated. I use ChatGPT. I use it a lot. I almost don't use VS Code. Doesn't have a community version. It probably does. Oh, it doesn't? Oh, that sucks. Because IntelliJ has a community version. But I bet Goland is gonna like get me hooked. Yeah. PyCharm is also one of the other ones, yeah. But I feel like you can get a lot of help from the IDEs. But with Go, it's kind of limited what can go wrong, because it's so strict. It's really like there's only, I think someone in the chat said it the other day. He was like, what he likes about Go is that you can have like a junior developer and a senior developer, and then you can give them like the same task, and then at the end of the day, even though the senior maybe be faster, the code will be very similar. It will like almost look and function the same. So that's one of the like strong suits of Go, because it's so strict, kind of like how you have to type it. You have to do the error handling in a certain way. Like everything just ends up looking the same. And that's a big pro because it becomes easy to comprehend, easy to read, all of these kind of things. Byte Tourist over in the Twitch chat is asking, is this your full-time plan? Yeah, so right now I have been blessed a little bit by having earned up some money that I can live off of, and so I'm risking some of these money and trying to do this full time at least for another half year or so, and then if everything goes to plan, I might have a little bit of money and I'll be able to live off of it, and then if it doesn't, then I will just have to go out and start working a part-time job so I can do this on the side. I have also thought about getting a part-time job now, just in order to kind of keep staying like motivated, having something to wake up to. Sometimes it's really hard to kind of have a day schedule. Today I was really good. I woke up with my girlfriend, I went for a run, and then she had to leave, so I left for my own place, and then I got home at like 10. I ate some food, I watched like some CSGO YouTuber, and then I went on here and started streaming. So I was like, I had a pretty good day today. Free advice from random internet dude. You should travel around and live in a cheaper country to make it last longer. I really want to do this, but I have a girlfriend and it's not possible. So yeah, I'd like to keep her at least. So I'm staying in Denmark until I can convince her that it's a really good idea to move. But it's probably going to be hard. She's getting her first job soon, and she's going to be able to she'll be able to have to stay in Denmark for quite a while. So we'll see. Maybe in the future. Right now, I'm not in the cheapest place in the world, but I'm in a very like I'm in Denmark, so there's like you can do a ton of stuff. I'm in Copenhagen. But I'm not like really the person who does that. And I know that if I go out and travel, for example, if I stay in Thailand or something, I would just go bananas. I would like live off of hostels, and then all the people on the hostels would like go crazy, and I would also just drink and go crazy. So yeah, I think it's good for me to just stay here. I found the streaming to be kind of rewarding because all of you guys look over my shoulder, and then I kind of have to stay motivated. So for example, now I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, and people start like tuning in after that 2 hour mark, and I know if I stay consistent and keep talking to you guys and interacting, then there's gonna be some people in the chat, and then I'm gonna have some more silent moment as well while I'm working, and it's just like the grind, right? So I have to do this like 6 hours a day in order to kind of really do it good. Last week I only did like maybe 20 hours. I want to go towards like 30-40 hour mark, so that I'm actually putting in as much energy in the startups that I'm building as I would in like working for someone else. So I need to do that because I'm employing myself, right? Where are you from? I'm from Denmark. I don't know if I mentioned it. Dimwit is also saying, yes, when I was making an account gen for Kick, when it came out, it was so much easier and simpler than making it in Python for C#. I don't, you made a account generating tool for Kick? Oh damn. Can you just spam my stream so that we pump it up? No. In Go? That's cool. I think I've been working with like JavaScript for so long, and also building backend stuff in JavaScript, and it's just, I don't know, it's not built for that. I hate all of the things that's wrong with JavaScript, and then I started doing TypeScript, and TypeScript is even worse, I think, because I just end up doing type any all the time because I'm not consistent, and the language allows you to be inconsistent. It doesn't really catch you. It's just horrible experience compared to, for example, Go. And I like Go because it's so low level compared to many other languages. It feels like I'm going back to maybe C, and I have a lot more control. I'm the one who decides where things go. Many of the things are built into the library, so I don't have to think about having all of these frameworks and relying on security updates in the same kind of way that I think I need to with Go. I'm fairly sure that now that I'm writing this Go project, I can leave it in like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, and then maybe at some point in the future it will still kind of work without very much maintenance. Hey Maxwell, what are you asking? What are you using for database? And right now I'm just using a local database. So if I say open database, you can see that I have a SQLite, I think it's called SQLite, which is a very fast local database. I'm also going to be using this in production because I don't really care about hosting it anywhere else. It's gonna be fast enough for the first maybe 1,000, maybe million users, and then if the site ends up getting some traction, then I will I'll maybe switch it over to something like MongoDB or something else like that. It doesn't really matter what database I'm using, since I'm using something called SQLC, which is a way of generating SQL. As long as I'm using SQL database, I'm pretty good, so I can use probably any of the popular ones, maybe Postgres, maybe MySQL or something like that. And I could host it on many different platforms because I'm integrating it. Like I'm just generating these database queries. So it's kind of like you create the schema, which is just like the tables. How do you want your data to look? So for example, here I have the books. I'll be like, okay, it's an integer, primary key, auto increment, stuff like this. And then I need to have, for example, the SQL. So this is kind of like, okay, so I want to insert into books. I put like what I want to insert and then like some values and some question marks, and this will help generate the SQL. So for example, this one, create book. If I go to the generated one, I can search for it, and then all of this is generated, and then it automatically generates this function that can get the data from the database. And right now the SQLC knows that I'm using SQLite, but I could also just define it to use something else if I wanted to. Here we have it, I think SQLC YAML, and it knows that it's targeting SQLite as the engine, but it also supports a bunch of other engines. I don't know if I can find the Postgres, MySQL, SQLite. I don't know if it has others. Maybe it doesn't, but at least that's good enough for me. Yeah. Morning. What are you building? Hey, Caveman Crafting. I think I'll just quickly go over it. So I'm building a book mentioning podcast kind of database. So it's a database where you can kind of go and search for your favorite podcast, and then you will be able to get the books from that podcast. So for example, when I'm listening to podcast, I always get inspired for what I'm about to read next. And I thought maybe I create this small little tool that can help me find my next read. I listen to this podcast, for example, Entrepreneur Minded, for example, this one called My First Million. They have like 600 episodes. I've only listened to maybe 80 of them. What about the last 500? Well, I'm probably never going to be able to catch up because they produce like one every 2 or 3 days. And it's not very fun listening to old stuff, right? So I would like to have an overview of all of the books mentioned, and maybe there are a few books that get mentioned more than once. And so maybe those are the books that I want to like read next time. And also I want to be able to maybe dive into the exact time frame that the book was mentioned. And so I'm creating this database that allows us to search in podcast, find a book, find an episode, go into the episode and see and listen exactly when the book was mentioned, and see if it is a book for you. Maybe you're figuring out like what you wanna see. Interesting. And you're looking at building this as a subscription service or something? Well, yeah, it is. It is a. It's not subscription yet. I don't know really yet how I'm gonna monetize it, and if it gains any kind of traction, then I think it can be monetized in several ways. One is to just do a bunch of ads on it, but I don't really like ads, so I think maybe it will be doing something like having people pay for tracking specific podcasts. So for example, I'm going to be tracking 2 or 3 different podcasts that I listen to frequently, and the way that books gets like recognized is by analyzing the podcast transcript with AI, and that costs a little bit of money. So if I want to like track the whole internet, all of podcasts in the world, it's going to be very expensive. And so I would have to kind of track it in a way that oh my god, Kick is blowing up. What the fuck? 61 viewers. Is that the all of the accounts script from JLM G8? What are you doing to my stream, JLM? Well, but it could also be monetized by creating, for example, Amazon affiliate links. So when people actually find a book that they like, then they probably end up trying to figure out how can they read it. And some people use Amazon to buy books. They can get the link directly, maybe from the website, and then you get a small percentage for redirecting stuff. Oh, it was Dimwit. Oh yeah, it was Dimwit. Wait, Dimwit, are you using your bot right now on the Kick stream? Because I don't know what the hell is going on, but I didn't order any botting service, and I'm no. Okay. I mean, I take the free viewers. That's crazy though. How can you do that? Maybe you'd have to show me someday. Add me on Twitch, or not? Add me on Twitter. Yeah, I do. I think all the book links etc definitely needs to be via affiliate links to Amazon and other sites. Yeah, exactly. No, Ekvelop did not buy viewers. No, I didn't buy viewers. I really like that idea. Thank you, man. Thanks. Yeah, so but I think for me it's more than just this idea. For me it's about creating a bunch of small ideas and then putting them out there in the world, and if people start using them, then good for them, good for me, and if not, then it's just on to the next project. This is the first project of mine that I'm doing all on my own in a new language with a new stack that I think is lean enough for me to reproduce the things that I'm doing and reusing it for the next project. And so the idea is kind of, and that's the big inspiration, is to do like Levels.io. Levels.io kind of do these things where he has a very lean stack. He's using like old programming like PHP and jQuery, which is that's fine. I chose to use kind of like Go and HTMX, which is lean enough that I don't have to think about updates to the framework. But yeah, I have to ask ChatGPT some things now and maybe do a little bit of concentration. But feel free to ask any questions. Oh, we just got the first camera shut off, so I will just fix that really quickly. It always happens when the battery runs out, because the camera that I'm running is a Canon EOS 7D and it only lasts for about 2 hours. But luckily I have a spare battery, so you are just hearing me now swapping the batteries and hopefully restarting the camera. And let's see. Are we back on stream? Are we back? Are we back? Our Lord and Savior, the battery. Let's charge it up. Let's charge it up. I'm back. What did you do before this, since you mentioned saving before? So before I was a student in Denmark, you get like SU, which is like student supplementary for living, which is not enough to make savings on. I had a part-time job, and there's at least one guy here in the chat who can call me out on that's probably not enough to go off by living. But I saved a little bit of money that way, and then I was lucky or unfortunate, depending on how you see it, to get some money when my loved one passed away, unfortunately. But it will allow me to experiment a little bit about my living. Also, right now my living isn't that expensive. I don't have any kids, cars, children, anything. I live with 2 roommates, so I'm off pretty well for right now. And in the future, I will probably get a part-time job if one of the projects doesn't really start going like they should. So yeah, that's. And K-Man Crafting is asking, yeah, I do think all the book links etc dev needs to be. Oh wait, maybe I already answered that one. Yeah, it needs to be affiliate links to Amazon and other sites. Yeah, they definitely do. So over at Twitch chat, he's saying, so a couple of recommendations. Make sure you're tracking all your expenses on these projects, e.e. time, utilities, etc. That is a really good idea. Right now, the main one is going to be time. So the first project here has taken me way too long time compared to what I want, but I hope that by honing my skills and getting better at the programming language that I've chosen now as Go, I will get faster and better. Also, I think these projects are okay for projects if you're looking to build up resume experience, but you should also look at profitability of each one at the start also. Yeah, so 100% it has to be kind of like monetizable, how to say it? Yeah. And I mean, right now I can afford, because I'm not having that many expenses, to kind of just see where things are going. Maybe in the future I will kind of have better skills and honed my skills a bit. My dream is to do this, so I don't know how many years will go down the drain, maybe doing this for like 5-10 years, I don't know. Level is okay, I've seen some of these things, but he's also a lot more established and have other income streams, so his main income is not the project but courses, mailing list, etc. Yeah, he definitely has a lot going on, and he is like 1 out of a million, so I'm not expecting to be like him. But I think even though that he's inspirational, the Twitch could be an additional income stream, although that's not really what I'm going after. I think I'm not very I'm not good enough at coding yet, but maybe in like 5 or 10 years I'll be entertaining enough to watch. Yeah. So but no, the plan is to build startups that can at some point do well. This month on the 21st, I am going to pitch a startup with my friend to a fund. I think it's called like an investment fund. And if we are lucky, if they like the idea, we will get a bag of money to build for, and maybe a bit of pay. It's a Danish initiative for people doing entrepreneurship, and if they like the idea, maybe we can go join the accelerator that they have set up for that, which would be really cool. So that's also like another way of going into it. And I also think that I will be joining a startup part-time at some point, just to learn a bit more about the world, like the startup world, and hone my skills. But and I think that's the way to kind of yeah, to try it out. Don't the Nordic government makes it irrelevant if you have a job or not? Um, so I'm not sure about what they make irrelevant, but I don't have a job, and you are not allowed to have a job if you're on the it's called InnoFounder in Denmark, and the the idea is to kind of, I think the government gives out a lot of money in order to kind of create more entrepreneurship. It's going to be 12 months where you're full time, but since I didn't complete my bachelor degree yet, it's only my friend who can do full time. I will do like maybe part time or something like that, however much we discuss it to be, and that's only if I get it, or only if we get it, and then we get like 100,000 Danish crowns in order to do development for. That's not, you're not allowed to pay yourself for that. You can like apply if you're a team of up to 3 founders. We are 2, but yeah, it's really cool that the Danish government has these initiatives. Yeah, I'm still at uni. I'm still at uni. Basically, I dropped out, but it's not called like that because I chose to do 1 year of break. You're allowed to kind of just tell the university that you want a sabbatical. So I took a sabbatical just because it's less like I'm still guaranteed that I can go back to studying if I want to do that in like 6 months or 8 months, and then I can, like, I'm guaranteed a spot at the program that I'm in. But right now I think I need more time. I need like a couple of years at least to figure out this whole journey that I'm on with the startup and entrepreneurship. And if I can make this work anyway, then I think that's the career that I want to go for, because right now it's not very I don't really want to like be a, what do you call it, like working for someone else and then working my way up the ladder in like the next 20 years. I think I tasted the bottom of the ladder not that long ago, and I just don't like that I'm not the one who makes decisions and takes like big decisions and moves stuff in the right direction. I think it's really cool to be able to be that person. Yeah. So maybe joining a small startup where I get more like control, more to say, it would be more fun. But ultimately, they can also just tell you one day to get the hell out of there. If they're not impressed with your work, then you're just kind of screwed. I like the guarantee that you can maybe make something for yourself. And I don't care that it's just a normal living. If even it's gonna be like a normal living, it could be like less of what everyone else is making in the industry, because people are making like a lot of money to be a software developer. And then if it fails, I'll go back to uni and finish my degree. It is cool to be a person, but does take experience to get there. Yeah, it's cool to be that person. Yeah, it takes like a ton of experience. Like the seniors that we had in the previous company, they were like really clever, really good. Like I looked up to them a ton, but they were also like 50 plus years, and I could just see my I was like, okay, so I need to be in this company for 25 years before I'm valued at the same like level as some of these guys. And it felt like forever. And yeah, I hope that they're happy with the thing that they're doing, but I'm dreaming of doing more stuff on my own and maybe becoming my own boss. And I don't think that's the path if I want to do these kind of things, if that makes sense. Yeah, it is cool to be the senior guys, but yeah, I want to be the visionary, the person making the decisions, or just building stuff on my own, having fun, talking with you guys. I now own a small web agency for folks strong and for folks strong. Oh, that's a lot. And have been involved with that for about 10-15 years now. Yeah, exactly. I would say average is 3 to 6 years, but it depends on your overall knowledge and experience. I started out self-taught web developer, learned while a OTR trucker. Oh, that's cool. Got a full-time day job, which is nice for steady income while I'm doing sales marketing stuff. Well, that's also a way of doing it. And I think maybe I'll do that at some point. If I run out of money, then I'll get like a part-time, full-time job, and then I'll do this on the side. But I think it would be a really valuable lesson for me to learn that I can do this full-time, and I'm like trying to figure out how to do that. And if it doesn't succeed, then that's okay. I mean, I know the Danish mentality is gonna be looking at me like, oh, what are you doing? Like, why are you not using your education? But I feel like I am, and I think I can contribute in other ways to society or family or whatever. Maybe it will take me a little bit longer than the average Joe, but I'm also fairly relaxed about it, and this is what I love to do. So I just need to do it. This is the way. Yeah, it's worth a shot. But that's cool, man. Caveman crafting. Can I? Do you wanna connect somehow? It's always cool to connect with other entrepreneurs and builders. You've been doing it for 10 to 15 years now. I respect that. Maybe there's some advice that can what do you call it? Go into no, how do you say it? When you give something in exchange for other knowledge, maybe we can help each other. If you wanna follow me on Twitter or connect on Discord or something like that, I'd be more than happy. It will also be cool to learn about what you're doing if you want. You can find me on Ekvelop on X or Twitter if that's what you're into. I'm also saying that because I'm trying to figure out how the hell to grow on Twitter. It's like so if you have any advice, please feel free to sharing my networks. Are you doing I mean, caveman crafting, that's Minecraft related? No? Oh, you're doing streaming as well? That's cool, man. You're streaming Star Citizen? Oh my god, you're a Star Citizen nerd? Those are the worst. No, I'm just kidding. My brother's like 10k hours in that game. That's cool. Cool name. Nice name. That's nice. What languages are you using for the agency that you're or the platform that you're building using? I'm just wondering like what programming languages. PHP and JavaScript mostly. We are a Drupal dev shop. A Drupal. What is Drupal? Oh, that's like a CMS, right? A content management system, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Bread and honey. Okay, that's cool. I've never tried PHP other than like I once did some WordPress stuff, but like that was not really using PHP. It was like only changing like small lines here and there if stuff wasn't working. But I never really felt like I learned it. It was always just part of WordPress. WordPress is a terrible example of PHP. Yeah, I bet it is. It's probably a very old way of doing it. I've also heard about other CMS. Someone in the stream the other day was also talking about headless CMS systems. Maybe I'll check it out someday. It's probably easier than doing all of this manual database management stuff. But yeah, we'll see. Honestly, if I were doing a startup, I would use some framework to get a bulk of the stand-up stuff done quick. Yeah, I mean, it is nice working with stuff like Next.js and just cloning a T3 stack or something like that. But I don't really like the chaos of maintaining such a huge stack of frameworks. When you're using like JavaScript, you always end up with like 10 things. And I don't know, I just always looked up to the people who could do something very simple. So now I'm trying to learn it. Maybe in like 1 year or half a year I'll go back to doing something more like mainstream. You hate the JS stack, yeah. But maybe learning something like Drupal or another headless CMS would be cool too. I've never really dabbled in those kind of things. Also, right now, I'm not really doing a lot of Go. I'm like mostly using ChatGPT to help me out. So I'm cheating a little bit, but I think it's cool that I'm able to cheat and still build something. But Drupal reminds me of like Umbraco. Also, someone mentioned Umbraco at some point. When you're doing Drupal, are you doing Drupal directly, or are you just like then you're doing like server stuff behind, and then just using the Drupal interface for people to kind of be on? I'll be very of leaning on ChatGPT. Yeah, I mean, you also at some point have to learn how things are working and doing it yourself. But for now, it's a good way of getting entry into it. And if it can generate a bunch of code and I don't have to, then it's kind of like using a framework, and I like that. Drupal is PHP based. You start out with a contrib stuff and you can extend out the logic and branding of it. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's more minimal than doing I guess it's more minimal than doing like WordPress. WordPress gives you like a lot of stuff out of the box. A good bulk of things can be done via the web UI. Yeah, I bet. But then do you build stuff for other people, like as an agency? How do you get customers? Or are you like building stuff for your own stuff? Let's check it out. U.S. Department of Justice. What the frick? No way you built this. Do you swear? What the fuck? That's crazy. Well, if the government is running on Drupal, then everyone could. That's crazy. It reminds me of the fact that like 70% of the internet used to be WordPress. That's cool. So it was already running on Drupal. That's insane. 80% is WordPress. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. But that ain't me. I'm running on ChatGPT. Yeah, I like it for learning. I also like it for copy pasting. Game development. I once did game development in like 3D art stuff. But it's like 10 years ago, and I kind of went into programming path. But game dev is fun. My roommate is doing game dev. Yeah, do some streaming, man. I'll give you a follow. Then when you're online, I'll get a notification. Search by podcast. I have a tool I was able to set up for ChatGPT where I was able to get it to write a function module for Drupal like a plugin for WordPress. Yeah, and then you can probably do development really fast because you have the setup from Drupal already. That's cool. No, we don't want all of this stuff. Hello, T Sudo. Welcome to the stream. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. And I'm streaming on both Twitch and Kick. So if someone is also typing in the Twitch chat, I'll tell you what they're saying so that you can follow along with what the stream is doing over on the other side. Well, the startup is also more of like a mini project. Like I'm building a small podcast book thing. So it's called Book Menti. And the idea is to have like a database where you can search for a podcast, and then it will return to you all of the books mentioned in that podcast. So it works something like this, where you have like a search thing, and then you can search for example, a podcast. I like a podcast called My First Million, and then it will return all of the books that is mentioned in that podcast. And then it should be a database for like a ton of things. Yeah, that's what I'm building. Welcome to the stream. And then of course I'm using a bunch of help, which is ChatGPT, and sometimes people join in from the stream and then they help a little bit. So the stack is Go, HTMX, and SQLite, which is just I'm using like SQLC to generate SQL functions, and then yeah, that's basically the stack. So Go and HTMX, just like the Primogen. If you ever seen his videos on Go and HTMX, I'd recommend looking into HTMX if you don't know what it is. It's really cool. It's a way of like interacting with the server and just returning HTML directly and just replacing it on the side without having to do a lot of front end. So you can basically just do all of your front end stuff in the back end. And I like that because then I don't have to think much about front end. Welcome to the stream. Hey Mohammed, I don't have a shop. I don't think I need one either, but if you think so, please let me know. What are you looking for in the shop? I was just wondering.
Caveman crafting just made me focus even harder.
Oh, thanks for the follow, caveman. If you're heading out, it was nice to have you here. Hope to see you again someday. If not, I am glad that you're staying here for the stream, even though I'm doing probably a little bit basic programming and maybe it's a bit boring. You have to work in about 2 hours. Oh, that's cool. Are you from the US? So maybe you're like early in the morning right now? Like really early in the morning. Must be like 5 o'clock if you're based in the US. That's an early man. Well, I'm originally from the US, but I live in the Philippines now and I work remote. That's that's the heck. That's what I need to do. So you're like, wait, Philippines time? What time is it right now? Oh, it's really late. You have to start working in the middle of the night? Oof. What? Really? You working at 10 p.m.? What? That's a crazy schedule. I respect that. Plus I got a kid, wife, so it frees up my day when I want to do stuff with them. But then how many hours are you gonna work now? Or maybe you're just like working a bit in the day and then in the night as well? 8 hours a day. But things are a bit slow at the moment because my devs got all tests done and I'm waiting on working review approve things to launch. Well, I mean, if you have your team all remote, are they from the Philippines or are they from all over the world? Is your kid and wife also based out of Philippines? Have you been there for a long time? Or did you just move the whole family to a more cheaper area and enjoy the good weather? That's nice. One day I'm gonna move my girlfriend. 8 years. That's crazy. I'll have to convince her one day. And you haven't had any crazy monsoons or stuff like that? I'm always like scared of that. When I see like Philippines, I'm like, oh, it's like you're gonna get fucked by the weather. But maybe it's all good. Maybe it depends on where you are. Sometimes, but I mean, if as long as you survive it, right? Yeah, I want to go somewhere where it's better weather. Like the weather in Copenhagen or Denmark is so cold most of the year. It's like summer is 3 months and then the rest is just shit weather, wind and rain. Yeah, I need good weather at some point in my life. Why doesn't it have this one? There we go. Oh, we haven't had any music on this stream today. Maybe I should put on some music for the stream. And maybe it will be this one. And also I probably need to hit a break. Actually, we should add some cool stuff to the stream, so when I'm on break, it will be looking very cool. Right? We should do that. Let's see if it opens up the last thing I was doing. No, okay. It should be like this. What should we choosing here? Let's take this one. That's perfect. See you in a bit. I need to go to the toilet. Alright, I'm back. Let's get out of this one. What's happening in this music? Crazy. Holy shit, it worked. Oh my god. What the fuck? Nice. Nice to do. Well, well, everybody, I think that's today's stream. It's been fun. We got to a point where we can now search for podcasts that are created in the database. So, for example, here I have now a book that's mentioned. For example, the book with ID 3 gets mentioned in episode 29, and since it knows that episode 29 has is related to let's see, episode 29 is related to podcast 1, and podcast 1 happens to be my first million. It will actually showcase all the ones that are related to that one. So it was a great session today. Got a lot done, but thanks for everybody who's tuning in, and thanks to all of these lovely people in the chat who's been giving me such a great experience. It's been fun. Thanks for keeping up the spirit, guys. See you next time.